Hey everybody, how are you? Valerie here, and I was getting ready to do my email this week and I had a bright idea, so we're going to give it a go. I hope you like it. Welcome to what I would call Minimal Makeup Monday. So I don't have the usual amount of makeup on that I would have when I'm recording a video, and this video is actually private. So it's really only intended for you, the people who are on my list who open the emails on a regular basis. The idea that I had, I was looking at what was I going to send you this week, and whenever I send you something, I always want it to be of value. And I hope that you as well, when you're providing the service that you provide to people or just in your day-to-day life with those around you, I hope that you're wanting to do the same thing, provide value for people. And I had the idea that what if I shared with you some things that I'm doing behind the scenes? It's not quite ready for prime time. Needs a little more work, refining, a little bit more experimenting. But what if I let you in on the ground floor, so to speak? So that's what I'm doing. One of the things that I've just started, this is only the second week, is I just started being a part of a mastermind. It's a 13-week mastermind. I was intrigued with it because I actually have that set out in the future that I want to do for you guys as well. Whoever's interested is a mastermind. There's a lot of benefits to it, and I won't go into all of that now. I will put either a link in the description for this video or in the email that you got this video on. If you're interested in a mastermind in the future, you can get on the waiting list for that. Not quite sure how far out that is. What they talked about today on the mastermind was time blocking, and I've talked about that before. I'm not going to get into that too much in detail here, but a couple of things that she talked about, and it was interesting, was in terms of time blocking, and this is like where you block off certain amounts of time on your schedule, your daily schedule or your calendar. One of the things she talked about was having a buffer time. I think that's what she called it. And it was like a 3-hour time during your normal work schedule. So when you normally work, that you do something for you that's fun, that you enjoy. And I liked that idea. And we might think, oh, but I don't have enough time to get anything done. Well, what is it? I think it's called Parkinson's Law, that whatever time we give something, it'll take that time. So by putting that little buffer in there and doing something that you enjoy, it's going to make the work not as much of a drudgery, and it will help you to work faster so that you can have that time. So I already have one, but what I have is only about an hour and a half. So actually I need to get another hour and a half of this type of time in my schedule. So I go walking with a friend every Friday morning. But maybe you have somebody that you want to have lunch with on a regular basis, or just you want to have lunches with people on a regular basis. So I just liked that idea, so I thought I would share that. And the other time they had was, I forget what she called it. You can call it whatever you want. But it was a time of the day and where you just handle like some of that mundane stuff, right? Like checking your email, maybe replying to emails. Those things that if you do them first thing in the day can hijack your day. They're those little maintenance-y kind of things that we need to do, but they can end up taking a ton of time. So blocking off some little spots of time in your day for that. And it was recommended that you don't do it first thing in the morning, that maybe just before lunch or maybe just after lunch, something like that at the end of your day. So the other thing that I wanted to share about this, and here's the real gem, this is really what I was going for, that I wanted to share with you. It's formatted on the structure of a 12-week year. So if you got any of that best year ever stuff that I talked about at the beginning of the year, this actually kind of can fit with that, because Michael Hyatt talks about you may have these 7 to 10 goals, but you can't work on them all at the same time. And he recommends working on 1 to 3 at a time. So that's how this 12-week year works, is that you take a 3-month chunk of time and you take those 3 goals that you want to work on, moving you towards that bigger vision that you have. What do you want to work on for these next 3 weeks? And what was instrumental for me is she had this way of brainstorming where you take the goal, and she had it like a circle in the middle of a piece of paper and all these other little circles around it. And so it's kind of like a brain dump is what it would be. So you have your goal in the center, And what are all the different ways that you can do to achieve that? And just think of everything you can think of, right? And it's good to keep going, because as you continue, you might come up with a creative idea that you hadn't even thought of before. Once you have all of those ideas, then you go back and you pick out, the 3 to 5 that are really going to move the needle the quickest. What's going to have the most impact the fastest. And so I like that was really helpful. Like I always have a ton of ideas. Anybody who's been around me long enough knows I always have a ton of ideas. But, we can get sidetracked in checking this thing out, or trying this or trying that. We don't try any of it long enough to get a result. So taking it down to looking at it and really finding out, okay, what's really going to move the needle, and then give it a date. Now, some things could be date oriented, like I want to get this done by the end of this week, and this by the end of next week, or this, by the end of the 12-week period. But some things could be daily things. So I'm going to use, just as an example, we'll use health or weight loss, right? Because a lot of people will want to do health and fitness goals. So let's say your goal is to lose 10 pounds. Well, what are the things that you can do? I mean, there's all kinds of things, right? You can eat 5 servings of vegetable a day, go for a walk every day, work out for X number of minutes, run a 5K. The list goes on. You could just put a bunch of things out there, but some of them would be different. So let's say you wanted to do something daily, like take a walk every day for at least 10 minutes. Okay, so that would be something really easy to do. Now, you can walk more if you want, but getting that 10 minutes in will help you get some victory, and it gets you out and moving. So that would be a daily goal. Let's say you wanted to do the 5K thing we talked about. Well, that might be a little bit different. There's like a lot of steps to that. So what are the steps? So the first step might be find a 5K to participate in, right? And do that by the end of this week. Create a training plan to train for the 5K. Maybe I want to do that by the end of next week. So you can come up with the specific dates. Maybe you want to eat more vegetables. That's one that I'm working on, is eating more vegetables. And I had a goal of trying 1 new vegetable recipe each week. So there's you can see there's just a lot of different things, but you're going to focus on that for just the next 3 months. The premise of this comes from sports, and they'll do that with different sports. Like for 3 months, they'll work on just one skill and really hone in that skill instead of trying to do all of the skills. So it's kind of coming from that model. I've heard about this before. I've attempted to do these things, so I'm excited to be doing this in a mastermind group, so there's a little bit of an accountability. I'm having to show up for the meetings and getting homework assignments done by certain times each week. I find that helpful. For me, I like to have an outside deadline other than just my own self. Some people don't need that, and that's great. But that's what I'm working on right now, and I just wanted to share that with you. So if you're interested in it, you want to know more about it, let me know. I'll keep you posted on things. I really would encourage you, though, to do that with a goal that you have. If there's a certain goal that you really want to accomplish this year, write that goal down. And what are all the different pieces to it? What are all the things that you can think of to help you accomplish that goal? And then go back in and pick 3 to 5 things that you can start doing right now. That's my encouragement to you for this week. Let me know if you like this format. If you do, maybe I'll keep it up. And I will talk to you again next week. All right, bye for now.